ठीक है, तो as you can check it up in the quorum, we have done these many topics like meaning, eligibility, numbers of quorum, what we needed, consequences if the quorum is not present in the meeting. But other missed points, this is also a very good topic. I would say यहीं से भी कई सारे अच्छे questions I have expected and I have seen coming in exam. Let's solve few questions from this topic. Assume this is what the question is. What will be your answer? Okay, suppose this is what is the question. What should be your answer? There's a company, let's say company's name is XYZ Limited, and this company has called up general meeting in which following persons are present. Following persons are present. Explain whether quorum is present or not. If total numbers of members are 900. This is what is the data given here. If the total numbers are 900. 5 persons who are proxies of other members. So that's the first point. Second, they have provided that one person, let's say Mr. P, who is representative of 3 companies, A Limited, B Limited and C Limited. This is very important question for your exam. 5 persons, 5 persons who are holding the shares jointly, and 3 persons whose voting rights suspended but are members, and 3 persons who are just members of company, So this is what the data is given, and you have to tell me that whether quorum is present in the meeting or not. Quorum is present in the meeting or not. But this is what is the question for your exam. So referring to the relevant provision, explain whether क्या लगता है quorum is present or it's not present. Okay, now you know what are the words we are familiar with. We all know what is proxy. We all know what is the members. We all know what is I would say suspended. What do you mean by joint shareholders? What we do not know is the representatives. So here there is a question comes like what is proxy and what is representative? Explain the difference between these two. Alright. So before I go to this question, let's understand हमको क्या क्या इसमें जानना चाहिए. So first question what we have is proxy versus representative. ये आपको सबसे पहले पता होना चाहिए. In short, if I do ask a question that can a proxy appoint further proxy? That's the first question. Appoint a further proxy. Like I have appointed you as my proxy. Can you appoint somebody else as your proxy? And second question is like, can a representative appoint proxy? So ये दो questions हमको जानने हैं. ठीक है? Did you find this two? real votes. Are they signed or not signed? Just check it up. I think they should be signed or not signed. Not signed. वो भी देख लो बेटा. Signed सुन ही सके हैं ना. ठीक. Okay. Another question is, can a representative appoint a proxy? I mean, let's try to understand the difference between these two. So, first fundamental difference is proxy is actually defined under section 105, right? Whereas representatives are explained in two sections, 112 and 113. Proxy is a right of member, understand? Right of member that you can appoint a proxy. So, proxy versus member, who is primary or who is secondary? That's what my first question is. Who has the primary rights? Who has the secondary rights? I just want to ask, like, suppose proxy has been appointed by the member, but suddenly member changes his mind and he himself also attends the meeting. Then proxy can continue or he will be suspended. He will be suspended. So this is the fact is member versus proxy. Member always has priority or the superiority. That you please try to understand. In fact, when we read the provisions of the section 105, we will see that rights of proxy, right of proxy are limited. Limited, you understand? Rights of proxies are limited, means they are very self-constrained. It is restricted. That means that proxy cannot enjoy the right as good as like a member. Got it? Proxy cannot enjoy the rights as good as members. Now, what are the rights and limitations that I will discuss as and when I come to section 105. But till that, आप इतना समझो कि appointment of proxy is the member's right, not the proxy's right. So once I have appointed a proxy, that is fine. But you are not a member of company. If you are not a member of company, you cannot appoint further proxy. Make sense or not? If you are my agent, you cannot appoint another agent without my consent. So same thing is coming like this. If I have appointed a proxy, I do have a right because I am the member. But you cannot. The reason is you are not a member. You cannot enjoy the membership rights. Let's come to the now representative concept. 112 and 113 is there. Before I go to this question, answer me one simple point, simple question that can a company become member in other company? What do you think about this? Can a company become member in another company by buying the shares of that company? So today, is it possible that TCS Limited may become the member in Infosys Limited by buying the shares from the open stock market? Possible or not possible? I'm asking you a simple query, simple question. I'm asking you. What do you think about this? Answer is yes, it is. So as soon as guys the TCS Limited invests in the Infosys Limited's share capital, it officially becomes the member of company. So the biggest question comes during the general meeting: how would company come to attend the general meeting and it would vote? The total percentage voting rights assume is 20%. How would you express your votings in the general meeting of Infosys? कैसे करोगे आप? Physically, you don't have any body, you don't have mouthpiece, you don't have hands. So how would you express and convey your votes in the Infosys Limited's general meeting? That is the first question here. Actually, answer is there. Don't you think it's a practical problem? So it's not about only company, but I'm talking about almost all those organizations which has artificial personality. They are persons, but they can't vote on their own due to absence of the physical body. And that is why guys section 113 is introduced, which says that such artificial persons Whether I talk about, let's say, Christ University, trust, companies, corporations, body corporates, all of these are allowed the facility under section 113 to appoint representative. बेटा उनको क्या appoint करना है यहाँ पे? Representative. Are you getting my point? So representative, as far as I would say this section 113 is concerned, may be appointed by artificial persons. Got the point? One of the interesting lawful part is rights and liabilities of rights and liabilities of such representatives shall have, but this is very serious statement I'm saying, shall have same rights and obligations like a member. Please make it the serious note into your notebook. They have, the same rights and the liabilities as good as what, Ucha? Like what? A member. So as you know, students, that representatives are just like nothing but a replica of the member. So members do have the voting rights. They do have the right to appoint the proxy. So ultimately, guys, answer to this question: can representative appoint a proxy? Answer to that question is absolutely yes. So company will appoint representative and representative will appoint the proxy. That is possible. That's what proxy cannot do that. The reason you know very well. Reason you know very well. Okay, now 113 I have discussed. I think all of you know that this is applicable to the artificial person. What is about the 112? So 112 is the special facility provided to the two important personalities of this country. The first one is the President of India, and second one is the Governor of the state. You know, both of these are the constitutional positions. Do you know this? These two are the constitutional positions. So if they are the shareholders in any company, suppose they are also withdrawing the salary for their services, yes or no? So assume that they have invested in some shares. Now, as being the President of India, I don't think so that personally, though these people would be present in the meeting. So, क्या solution है? They are allowed to appoint representative. So, when I check about the section 112 and 113, in both the sections, three persons are allowed to appoint proxy. First is the President and the Governor, according to section 112, artificial persons. They include everything. Do you understand what I am saying? Paris? ठीक है? One question comes, ये काफी interesting question है. मुझे एक बात बताओ, suppose here Bhavna, in this example, suppose she is appointed as representative. Congratulations, Bhavna. Representative बनाया गया. She is the representative of three companies: ABC Limited, or let's say A Limited, B Limited, and C Private Limited. She went. Now all these three are the shareholders of another company, X Limited, and X Limited called the meeting. So Bhavna, who is the representative of A Limited, B Limited, and C Private Limited, she attends the general meeting of X Limited. That is the question, that for the sake of considering the numbers in the quorum, Bhavna's presence will be considered in how much number? Is she 1 or is she 3? कितना count होगा? Assume in the general meeting there are less than 1000 members, so quorum is 5. अरे भाई बोलो तो सही, quorum is 5. Two members are already present and another member is Bhavna is present. So quorum is sufficient or not sufficient to start a meeting? That's what a question. Persons wise, how many persons are available? 3. Two other members, one is Bhavna, so person wise 3. But you need minimum 5. So that is what my question is, that whether quorum is present or not present. So that is what the question is. If Bhavna is considered as only one, then three not present. But what if her status is of the three? Then three plus two, five. It is present. So that is what is the question is like. What I should consider? Should I consider as one or should I consider as three? Okay, Bhavna says three. Varshini, three. Sparsh, three. टू कैसे हो गया या तो एक हो गया तीन होगा प्राइवेट को कंसीडर मत करो वाह पारिस वाह so that is what the new miscellaneous provision we have to understand that if one person is holding the representation of the multiple capacities each capacity will be considered as a separate member. So you understand person wise only one person is present but membership wise how many members are present? Three. Okay, so guys here Bhavna will be considered as 3. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 are present. Answer to this question is yes, quorum is present. You can start the meeting. Now I know what is your secondary doubt is, but sir, how would you decide that internal votings like? So that is something between company and Bhavna in this example. They will mutually understand. They should have some agreement if this is the proposal, what to vote and all that. That is something called the agency and principal relation. But my concern is number of membership. Have you understood how the number of membership is going on? How the number of membership is getting counted? Have you understood? So once I would say 112, 113 and 105 comparison is clear, you are ready to solve and touch this question. One is question को touch भी नहीं कर सकते थे. So let's understand guys, first of all, there are 900 members. Got it? So if the articles is silent, then minimum number of members what needed to be there, it is 5. Let's see whether 5 members are technically present or not. 5 proxies of the other members. Guys, proxies who are not a member of the company will be excluded. So whenever this question comes, you have to always assume that these 5 proxies are other than members. Got it? Because for the members, they have given the separate 3 list. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही? So these 5 proxies of the other members will not be included. Will not be included. वो include नहीं होंगे. One person who is the representative of the 3 companies. So we should consider 1 or 3. So guys, here it is 0. Here we have to consider 3. Is it clear? 5 persons holding shares jointly. That is very interesting. You tell me guys, ask your parents whenever they are holding the joint bank account, what they are holding? But how many bank account numbers are issued? 1. So membership wise they will be considered as 1 or 5. So here even if there are 5 persons, but if they are holding the shares jointly, only one will be considered. 3 persons who have the voting rights but which is suspended. I told you just being a member is not sufficient. At the same time, you must have the voting rights in that meeting. So guys, again it is coming 0. 3 persons who are actual members of the company. Nothing is written, so we assume they have the voting right to 3. Count it. Actual how many numbers? 3 plus 1 plus 3 comes to. So total 7. Needed 5. So guys, answer to this question is yes, quorum is present. Yes, quorum is definitely present. But please try to understand that in order to solve just one simple question, we had to move to lot of provisions. हमको proxy समझना पड़ा, हमें representative समझना पड़ा, हमें joint shareholding समझना पड़ा. Then and only then you are able to solve this question. Am I clear? लिख लो बेटा इसको एक बार.